James Harden has come to play. After one of the greatest NBA regular season scoring years, Harden has finally brought it for the playoffs. I talked about in a previous video that for the Rockets to take down the Golden State Warriors, James Harden needed to play like James Harden. After recording a 30-point triple-double in Game 2 versus the Jazz, everything seems to be lining up for a second-round matchup with the defending champs. It just seems like James Harden has that confidence that he can do whatever he wants on the basketball court. This is way more than that swag mentality that he had back when Dwight Howard was on the team. This just seemed like supreme understanding that there is nobody on the court that could prevent Harden from what he wanted to do. On top of that, the Rockets have so many guys that know exactly what their roles are, and their skills amplify that role so well. They also don't really bullshit much. Capella does his tongue wag, but never seems like he's taunting anyone specifically, even though it would be more than understandable for him to taunt Gobert. Tucker just shoots threes and plays great defense and never wavers from that role. Rivers is the defensive specialist off the bench. Green is a heat check guy. And of course, Capella and, maybe a little bit of a lesser extent, Fareed are lob specialists. And well, CP3 is, of course, CP3. It all just seems thoroughly put together, and it could just be me, but it feels like the Rockets amped up their defensive pressure with the playoffs. But then again, I didn't watch them much during the season, so maybe they started playing this hard a long time ago. Either way, the Jazz haven't matched their intensity at all. With all that being said, a second round matchup with the defending champs seems inevitable. Now, I know the Clippers had their greatest playoff comeback in Game 2, but the Warriors should be able to bounce back and move on. Again, nothing but love for the Clippers. What they did was truly remarkable. If I'm being honest, I can't tell you how excited I am for the potential matchup. It was downright painful how close the Rockets were to beating the Golden State Warriors in last year's Western Conference Finals, having a 3-2 lead with Game 7 at home just to see their star point guard Chris Paul suffer a series-ending hamstring injury. They want revenge, and they want it bad. All I'm saying is James Harden is playing his best playoff basketball. Chris Paul is less likely to be hurt in the second round than he would be with additional minutes on his legs in the Western Conference Finals, and the role players are firing on all cylinders. As for the Warriors, they are as vulnerable as they've been since the Cleveland Cavaliers stunned them in the 2016 finals. DeMarcus Cousins is out with a quad injury, and the future lingers over the team. Let's just quickly reiterate, a vulnerable Golden State is still the most talented team in basketball. The Warriors' small ball lineups are typically lethal, but Capella has enough athleticism to keep up and can work for lobs and offensive boards against Draymond Green and Andre Iguodala. As for the future, Kevin Durant has a player option for next season and has been linked to the New York Knicks so much that it was reported earlier this month that he and Kyrie Irving are discussing who will sign first. And of course, Klay Thompson is also scheduled to be a free agent this offseason. It's only human nature at this point for the Warriors to at least have the future in the back of their mind after a run of 4 straight NBA final appearances and back-to-back titles. They didn't maintain their focus in Game 2 against the Los Angeles Clippers and blew a 31-point lead as a result. Houston is a team in full control, up 2-0, while the champions find themselves in a first-round fight after a stunning loss. If the Rockets are ever going to beat this version of the Golden State Warriors, this is the year to do so.
That was so impressive here in the second quarter. Harden fires and